Good day, lords and ladies of the internet. I am your host, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I welcome you all to the Library of Ruina, where I opened up the game for the very last update, or very last story update, to this game, to a cutscene. So here we are now. Are you all set up now? Almost there. I love how the actual voice actor of Roland is this, like, normal speaking person like I am doing right now, but I give him this big gruff voice, so... By the by, I thought this library fell to bits for the most part, but it looks like its power is still there, right? He does sound very nice, doesn't he? There's gotta be a horde of people watching for the chance to raid this place out there, but no one has broken in so far. I find that peculiar as well. Who the hell is that? Zena. You look like Binner. You're an Arbiter, aren't you? 'Cause there's the claw. That, Zena, is because the library is the shell of your mind and consciousness. Or ego, as you call it. It's the consequence of making a decision that only a human could make. One that couldn't be further from what a resident of the city would choose. How long have you been here? A visitor from the head, huh? The eye and the claw, too. I like the robotic sounding voice. It's not even robotic sounding, it's echoey sounding. So it really emphasizes the fact that he's behind a mask. Barrel. Keep perfectly still, or you'll be torn apart. Remember, even you of all city folk can be ripped to shreds in your current state. Damn. You may have concluded your own little tales, but the distortion still continues to grave its mark on the city. That new color has permitted the city much too profoundly. So now the head is gonna hold us accountable for the phenomenon, is that it? No one could be held responsible for the distortion at this point. It breaks my heart to think that it might have been the shift of ecology of the city we had cultivated with care. If so, what brings an agent of the head here, and why so late? We're here to expel you, your library, and this nest as a whole. What do you mean by expel? And to retrieve a certain degraded colleague of ours. Oh, you're here for Binner. Beholder, is the territory expulsion procedure primed? It is ready to go any time. You mean? The entirety of Elcorp's nest, including this place, will be driven out and relocated to the outskirts. Wow, okay. That's surprising. What happens to... Does that just mean the population or the entire city? Because you're gonna have to rebuild the city, because it is still a nest, after all, isn't it? The library has already become an impurity of the city. We couldn't stand by any longer. Are you disturbed by its powers? Not quite. The sole reason is you, Angela. An entity that isn't human entertained thoughts that only a human should have. You poor machine. No matter how much you contemplate and enrich your mind, you cannot become human if you aren't born as one. I mean, that's entirely a lie, because it's already happened, but whatever. When I thought you might turn into a human at the end, you let go of all you had during that critical moment. Had you fully become a human at the the culmination of the ordeal, the city would have been more willing to accept you. Alas, I don't care if I have to stay as a machine. A machine with a heart has no place in this city. You cannot break free from your origin, which defines you. Why does that matter? I'm the only one who has a say in defining my identity. I don't need a flimsy husk to do it for me. How contemplatable that your line of thought is so dangerously close to what a human must aspire to reach. You're further demonstrating why we cannot let you be. For some reason, for someone who loves to preach humanity, you sure seem fine with letting distortions cause many a scene in your precious backyard, By all manner of means, distortions are one of the many aspects of humanity. Their existence is not wholly wrongful from our point of view. Really? It was simply time for them to emerge. Are they not more bearable than a meager machine putting up a charade of being human? You have some messed up line of thinking. So do yourself a favor and throw away that crumpled piece of paper. You've done something so cute so nervously. And what if we made you kick the bucket here? The expulsion will still take place as planned. It's inevitable. This matter goes beyond you and the library. L-Corp itself was a stain and a blemish to the head. No wonder it is. To trounce over L-Corp's singularity and its end goal, you dispatched an arbiter by the name of Binner. No, it was Garon, wasn't it? Regardless, it ended in utter failure, did it not? Subduing the singularity was not our priority. If I had to elaborate, you, Angela, were the impurity that had to be cleansed. You really don't like robots, do you? The singularity of manifesting the powers of the human mind and ideals physically? Indeed, I won't deny that said power needed to be attuned. An art that brings the human mind into the physical realm is without a doubt an unpleasant idea. It was certain to be a subject of scorn. Whoa, we did not mind allowing it to foster. It would eventually blend into the city in a fitting way, even though it may not be the most desirable for us to see. That's how the city and its humans have always been. On the other hand, the very concept of your design displeased us to the core. Why? Seriously, why? What is so wrong? Is it just the concept of, like, if AI gain intelligence like a human, they'll soon realize that the AI is superior and they'll take up... are you just trying to avoid Terminator? Is that what this is all about? Are you just trying to avoid the Terminator movies? Oh, indeed. You were the definitive reason that caused us to make a direct move. The sacrifices, the tragedies that took place in that laboratory on the outskirts were irrelevant. Those were not so different to the everyday occasions of the city. With what we had a problem was the design that would lead to your creation. We could not overlook it, even if it was still in conceptual stage. Garon did such a sloppy job dealing with it, and now the chasm has grown too wide. Just what's up with the head and its obsession with humanity? Angela, the machine with the mind of a human. The door mustn't be closed because of something like you. Very key wording right there. What door? If I'm understanding this right, you wish to put me to death and move the library to the outskirts along with the whole nest, is that correct? You've guessed right. I exist in this place as myself, standing on my own 2 feet with my own strength. I have no problem brushing off the bullcrap you're spewing on my doorstep. And you sure are verbose company, just like Binner. You always add needless comments as if you just can't help it. Executioner.
I thought the library ceased pretty much all of its functions.
As that arbiter said, the library is my ego. In that case, I can perform such feats without breaking a sweat. Although this is only a temporary retreat, similar to how our guests are greeted.
We're finally receiving guests from the head itself, huh? I guess these are the last ones we'll get to greet from here.
It seems they are. I don't have to stay in this nest anyway. I'm willing to accept a relocation.
Good for us. Saves the trouble of packing stuff up to move.
Interesting. You're untargetable. And okay. So, kind of makes me wish Weariness. Starts the battle with 50% less HP and combat pages are weakened. In what way are they weakened? You know, if he wants to hit you with that, I'd say just let him and we can just gain a bit of extra strength here. Sure, hit me. Okay. I hit you back. I gained emotion, didn't I? Why didn't I do anything? 28! The actual bloody Christ game! What the hell? Did you just take me through everything? I don't... Exhausted already? We have yet to even expend any real effort. Executioner.
I'll finish them.
Halt. You have shown up at last. Have we met before? So
that's why Angela asked me to hang in here. It was to wake you up, huh?
What, you ain't pleased to see me coming to save your ass?
I'm not complaining, ma'am.
Don't worry about it. Just pull yourself together and get up. It's too early to flop down, you know.
Alright. Thanks for coming. I definitely was not gonna make it through this alone. It's a relief to have you.
Can't guarantee that I'll power through this either.
Well, we'll have to try and stop them for as long as we can.
Know that joining forces will not change the inevitable outcome of this. Nevertheless, your efforts are certainly a joy to witness. Truly and indeed, while I would not mind to spectate the situation from a distance, we must see to it that this place is dealt with thoroughly, so it would be wise for me to participate.
And this just got more troublesome.
Alright, I don't know why you got +3 strength. Okay! You don't have any of the things that I have you equipped with. That's odd. Also, all of these start at 1. Seal a speed die of the target for next scene. Well, I've got +3 strength, so... Right, this guy's dealing with Roland. Alright, I've got no idea what's going on here, but let's just have a go and see what's gonna happen. I can't play this yet, can I? No, I don't have enough light. Fucking really? I had +3 strength! How the Christ did I roll a 7 with +3 strength? Game, what the fuck? It is literally 5 to 7 with +3 strength. The lowest number I can roll is 8. What the Christ? Oh, whatever. It doesn't even look like this is a real fight anyway. This is just weird.
Yeah, that's right. Get sliced. Well, we're doing some damage to them. What the Christ just happened?
Isolated without a way out. Your state is nothing short of pitiful. You still managed to hold out for a greater deal of time than we anticipated. 'Tis a shame that it must end this way. Now.
Okay.
It is indeed true that that verbosity leaves you vulnerable. Garon. That is a name I have not heard in a long while. Although I suppose that name is not for me anymore. Despite having received news of you, I didn't expect you to come out and greet us this late. What took you so long? I was simply watching you from afar for a moment.
Really now? Until we got all battered up?
Look after yourselves before you blame me. This strife will have to resume soon enough. Not only did you fail to responsibly perform your duty, you have fallen asleep here and turned your back on us. How impudent of you. However, I suppose we can call you to account later. We will tear down your grave and extract you before long. I can only pity you in your vain endeavor to seek any entity whose husk is all that remains. Executioner, be prepared. It will take place any minute now.
Alright, Mr. Roland is extremely hurt right now, I see. Alright, well... Roland is dead. He cannot win this anymore at this point. This feels odd for a fight. Nice. Roland is now staggered, meaning he's about to die. Or not, because it still just doesn't do enough HP damage to him. Apparently he can take a maximum of 3 damage or something. Alright. Were you mass attacking? Shockwave. Alright, we got different shockwaves, I see. Well, it's a summation, which I more than likely can't succeed. Recover 50 HP at the start of the next scene. Serum K. Alright, well, let's just see how this goes, I suppose. Well, that's a move, I suppose. How did I get feeble? This is not a real fight. I can already tell this is not a real fight because, 1, we're not being dealt enough damage ourselves. 2, why am I even thinking about what I can do to actually win these attacks? This is clearly not working. Pretty fancy attacks, I must say. Yeah, Roland isn't taking damage anymore. This is a scripted fight. Which frankly could have probably been told from the fact that... from a number of factors. Like the fact they just don't have our traits on them, which would actually probably help us win. What the? What's up with this tremor?
Looks like they're gonna press ahead with the plan. It is truly amazing that you managed to withstand for such a long time, especially when you seem so fragile that you might perish from a hair more force. Garen, as much as it is a shame that we failed to retrieve your once crumbled body, the end is nigh. This place will be expelled as planned. Prepare to be sent to the outskirts, a truly great distance from the city. Beget not fear, you are simply being relocated to where you belong. I only ask that you do not return. The city cannot leave room for beings such as you. For now we shall kindly move you to the outskirts, but should you return to the city, we would consider it such that you have chosen to disregard our kindness. So mark my words well, and stay right where you rightfully belong.
Alright.
The expulsion of the nest will begin in 10, 9, 8. The area is being ejected without warning. Many lives were lost in the struggle to claim that land. How vain was every death?
So is it just a fucking gaping hole in the middle of the city now?
Okay. The outskirts look much more barren than I imagined.
Question. Considering Angela's out here, the whole city was sent out here, and it's potentially because the whole city was sent out here that the people in that city are still alive. Is it potentially possible, because we can assume that the head is immortal at this point, and so is Angela, that we're going to eventually get a game where it's going to be literally Angela's new city versus the head city? Can we have that? Can we get a clash of the cities? Outskirts versus the city. Can we have that? I guess that's how it is here, you know? Now what to do?
I plan to live on, and I plan to change.
Change what?
Well, my vengeance hasn't ceased entirely. I'm still eager to see it through. I'll continue to write books and reopen the library at some point. It likely won't resume immediately, though.
Really?
Before anything else, I've decided to change course. From now on, I'll properly face who I should direct my anger at. Tragedy and suffering, not unlike what we went through, would keep happening on a daily basis in the city. Thus, if that's the case, I want to know why such pain is perpetuated. I don't think I'll be able to part my resentment and wrath otherwise.
Oh yeah, like the whole treadwheel thing you mentioned. A word of advice from a former city folk. It won't be an easy road to take. You have no idea where to even start. If you ask me, it's as natural as water flowing. In a city full of humans, tragedy, violence, and loss follow as a matter of course.
I'm still going to give it a shot, even though the journey will be quite long. Of course, the library will run in a different way from how it was up to now. That is this, and this is that.
That is this, and this is that, huh? What about your list, then?
Since the circumstances have changed, I'll have to rethink my wishes. Sadly, I won't be able to taste that sick meat stew with this body.
That's a huge shame.
Putting that aside, isn't it time you let me in on your secret now?
What do you mean?
The biggest surprise you've had here.
Oh, that. You somehow remembered it.
I can remember anything, you know.
This one's really personal.
We have all the time in the world. I can wait years for your answer.
Alright, fine. I actually wanted to write a book. About what I'd seen of the city and its people. Though I gave up, because I had no talent in writing whatsoever. My writing was just too crude. I couldn't show it to anyone.
I'd love to give it a read.
Laugh at me if you want. A grown man like me getting all sentimental and wanting to write. I'd laugh at myself, too.
It's not laughable at all, though I do find it surprising.
Don't tell the other librarians. This stays between you and me, alright? Keep it zipped.
Alright, shall we write a book together this time, Roland?
It would be my honor, Miss Director.
Wrong. Try again. You should know by now that's not the right way to address me, don't you?
Sounds good to me. Angela.
You know...
It's finally playing this music! Aha! I mean, isn't this the music they advertised for this game immediately, and this is just like the first time we've heard it? You know, during the credit sequence? I love this music. I also love all the pictures. That's really nice. And these are pictures we haven't seen, meaning this is, the aftermath. These pictures. Music team, you are God sent. You are amazing. Music, songs by Millie. String Theocracy, From a Place in Love, and then No More Is Heard, Iron Lotus, Children of the City, Gone Angels. Yeah, this is definitely an aftermath. That is so nice. I know I should be... Hey, guys, I know it's a credit sequence, and that I should be talking about everything that's going on. Such as the fact they're just enjoying themselves in the library now. But what I'm honestly, truly waiting for right now is seeing a picture outside the library. You know, when she possibly eventually opens up the place. You know? God, this artwork. I love this artwork. It's just this lovely artwork here. Hampan crew. Oh, we're not gonna get that, are we? We're not gonna see the... And now we see all the patrons! Oh, glorious! Well, credits, so it's time for me to give my thoughts on the game. I honestly love this game. I know it's just common to say, oh, I like this game, yada yada. No, but no, genuinely. I love this game. Sometimes when I'm making my videos, it's just like, okay, what day is it? What do I need to play? It's this game. Okay, let's just get it out and get it over with. But no, Ruina is a game I always look forward to playing, just because I love the story and I love the gameplay. I love strategy, and this game is strategy. I just love the deck building, the concept, all of it. It's brilliant to me. I love it all so much. I can also understand why people were getting a bit mad towards the end. But I've also seen people say it's open-ended. That doesn't seem open-ended. That felt like quite a closed ending. They've been sent off to the outskirts. It's just where they are now. They can just live out their days in peace. They don't have to worry about the laydown of the city. I can understand why people were a bit mad about the ending, because it's just like, Angela doesn't get what she wants, but when you have to think about these within the concept of the world itself. And within the concept of the world itself, it fits. The head is in charge for a reason. He is exceptionally powerful. They do have these stupidly powerful abilities. I still hope for the fact that eventually, thanks to this, we're going to have a city v city clash. I want to see that. Because that's still assuming on the basis that it transported the entire city along with them. Because then, if it did, all that needs to establish is Angela just needs to take over control and just break away, get everyone to break away from the constant hurt each other for yourself mentality that the city had, which is a very hard thing to do. It really is. If you've lived your entire life like that, it's hard to get into a new frame of mind. And you'll keep notice I'm glancing at this, just because I'm waiting for my own name to appear in this list. Just because, of course I backed this game. I love the series. I can't wait for the next Project Moon game. It's gonna be brilliant. By the way, because you're all hopefully still watching. Ooh, P. My name. Where's my name? Okay, fine. I was, whatever. Doodle. Calm myself. Talk. Where was I? City v City clash. I want to see it. Because the outskirts are huge. So it'd be an interesting concept if Angela basically made a city outside of the city. It would probably also, if she did that, also lean to the idea that she's just gonna live by herself. She's just gonna make their city for the people of the outskirts and just be left like that. And not want anything to do with the city. However, the head, upon discovering that she's doing that, would probably see that as an affront to his city because it's against humanity, because she's going against his ideals. So his city would actively attack her city. And that's how the city v city clash would begin. Yeah. Take that idea, Project Moon. It's perfectly welcome. I know you've probably got the story ahead for like the next 5 games or something. But hey, just throwing it out there. City v city clash. The RTS genre is so dead, but there are so many people that still want to play it. Make the RTS an RTS of the Project Moon world, of the outskirts versus the city. That would certainly be interesting. You could also have it in the city, of basically between the gangs and the fixers and everything. Oh, God knows how you did actually ever do that, but yeah. I like the music. Sue me. The Parafox Archangel! The Parafox Archangel! And you, the Parafox Archangel! Oh. I can understand why this ending wasn't what everyone expected.
but it definitely wasn't a bad ending. It was a fitting... It's like annoying. It's an annoying ending for like on a player basis. But when you look at it from a world basis, it makes complete sense. And I like that. I like it when people stick within their own world. They make the rules of the world for the world, not always for the player. I mean, obviously you have to make it you gotta bend a few lines here and there for the sake of the player, but when it comes to the ending of the game where the player has no influence, sure, piss off the player as much as you want if it means, you know, what am I calling it, you're sticking to the theme of the world, and that certainly stuck to the theme of the world. Just saying, you're not allowed here anymore. Get lost! Even though Hannah Association General Manager, even though the star we call the library has fallen, the phenomenon of this distortion is still ongoing. It's time we established a new association, as someone pointed out. You mean an association to take care of distortions exclusively, as countless suggestions have asked for? The Purple Tier has been submitting a amount of documents as if she's been waiting for this moment. Which Purple... I swear the Purple Tier is like fucking Rick and Morty. Look, there's infinite dimensions, so of course there's infinite Purple Tiers. She's just gonna fucking fling to the one which suits her the best. She was the one said to be capable of walking between multiple dimensions due to the influence of a singularity. Perhaps she walked into the borders of the beyond. It seems she's still seeing further than anyone else. Perhaps she walked into the... I don't know who's talking, I'm just speaking normally now. Perhaps she walked into the borders of beyond. It seems she's still seeing further ahead than anyone else, yet she won't look back at herself. Thank you, Fox. Please read. An association of fixers, specifically dealing with these distortions, is it? Knock, knock. There's plenty of demand, you know. No need to scratch your heads weighing the grains. Some wings have already begun to make a move. Offices focusing on distortions are a money-maker on the rise. Better be the first to take grip of the market. Besides, the distortion phenomenon is starting to take a new turn ever since the library case. You guys have heard about the tower that's magically shown itself in the outskirts, right? You're still as rude as ever. Don't you know how to knock properly? Sheesh, it's not like I didn't. You're correct. We did receive reports about the tower-like structure which has appeared in the outskirts. But it apparently would disappear like a mirage once they try to approach it. Yeah, that's probably the new library. Though it looks like it's operating in a different way now. Pressuring us won't allow you to skip the standard procedures, Purple Tier. You even have the audacity to suggest that you'll be in charge of organizing the association alone. To deal with abnormalities born out of the twists and distorting of humans, you'll want specialized gear. The distinct equipment of L-Corp had dubbed Ego is the most appropriate for the job. The thing about Ego, though, is that not any person can handle it. We need those who meet the qualifications. You mean the so-called egoists, according to your documents? Yepers, you know I've got a sharp eye for people. It wouldn't hurt to let me take charge. We should take the initiative in shaping the system our way. Right now, the public's ideas are all over the place, as is evident with terms like distortions, abnormalities, and even plain creatures being thrown around. The first to define the concepts and terms will gain the upper hand in the game of control. You know that better than anyone. We'll consider your proposal with an open mind. All right then. I'll be expecting good news from you, okay? Wow, this is a new... whatchamacallit? New screen and a half. If I click continue, what happens?
don't like that. I don't like the fact there isn't a unique set of abnormality pages or ego gifts for Roland. Heck, I honestly think if you're going to do that, if you're going to make it so that the realization of Roland was Roland's boss fight, then make the smoke creature we fought on the second round the ego pages, you know? That was abnormality enough for us to deal, for it to be a thing. You know? I was looking forward to find out what the ego gifts of the ego pages of all these were. It kind of just means that, for like mods and everything, that, whatchamacallit, it just makes it so that for mods and whatchamacallit, Roland's team is just at a disadvantage, you know? Still. Well, I'm looking forward to the modding community of this game, so you can expect me to play more of this game, because, as I say, I love the gameplay as much as anything, and I can't wait to see what people come up for this. I know there's plenty of people in my Discord community, which if you're not part of, by the way, go join it, link in the description, that are planning loads of different different things to play, which I look forward to playing. So yeah! I just look forward to seeing what else there is. Deployable units, 5. Enemy axe, 10. Oh wait, is that just... No! Wait. These are all the different things. The black silence. The distortion. Floors available, 1. Enemy axe, 10. Deployable units, 5. Huh. That looks weird. Well, anyway, that's the end of the game. Yeah. Well, everyone, it looks like, what can I say other than thank you all for joining me today. I have been your host, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I hope to see you all again next time. But I'm afraid that, until then, it is time for me to bid thee all farewell, good day, and finally, good night.